Welcome back to The Innovators, a podcast about amazing people doing amazing things. Today's amazing person is Will Rubin. You're of Workmate Labs and WorkClaw. I think you just did an announcement just today about WorkClaw, which sounds fascinating. Welcome, Will.
Yeah, yesterday. Thank you for
Yesterday,
having me,
yeah.
John.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So OpenClaw, I know. I have my OpenClaw like literally sitting right here. Look at him. He's just hanging out. This is my
How's
AI
he doing
assistant.
today?
I haven't messed with him since I set him up. He just got he was really cool for like 2 days, right? And then I was like doing all kinds of stuff, and then I got like a bill for like $200 from OpenAI, and I realized I needed something else. So I set up Codex, and I just have Codex running. So cool. I mean, it's nice that it's like having a Bitcoin miner next to my desk, right? That back in the old days, it was like, wow, like I'm buying Bitcoin. I spent $50 in electricity to get $25 in Bitcoin for 25 cents in Bitcoin, but I'm a happy boy. So yeah. So anyway, tell us about
That's why you got
Workmate.
to get WorkClaw.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Tell us what's going on there.
So WorkClaw is an AI team for your team. It takes OpenClaw, puts it in the cloud, and puts a layer of collaboration for teams
Hmm.
around it, and makes it so that you don't have to worry about any of that setup. And you can spin up as many claws as you want for you and your whole team. And some can work with just you, others can work with the whole team. And it's basically the AI team for your team.
Okay. So I want you to just go real quickly into the vagaries of like something like a work claw, something. So what, as I run I don't know, I run a florist, right? Or a flower shop or whatever. How am I going to use this?
So the thing that we've found is that while there are a couple of things that everyone wants, like to connect, maybe help triage their email or do scheduling or basic engineering if you're into that, basic design if you're into that, most real value to businesses, even small ones like a florist, comes from understanding their processes and really figuring out how to train up a teammate just like you would train a real person and to do the way your company does it. And so with WorkClaw, the value becomes to teach your claw to do work your way, give them a job title that would actually exist or should exist at your company, and tell them to do the work the way you want it done. And so if you were a florist, for example, maybe you process your orders and your invoices in a certain way. Maybe you make your orders of flowers in a certain way. Maybe you have to pay rent and the utilities in a certain way, and that sucks up some operational time. And so the cool part about WorkClaw is that you can easily onboard a claw. You don't have to worry about security, privacy, DevOps, keeping it up and running. And you just start to teach it to do work your way, just like you would a person. We handed a laptop for you. You connect it to whatever apps you're already using, and then away they go, with the training to help do work your way. And we're seeing people are doing very specific things. Our most active users are doing very specific things with their claws that are actually getting real value done in the company.
Okay. So it like I feel like there's people who are obviously sort of like saying to themselves, this is it's almost overkill, right? So that's kind of scary for them. Like and then we also have a situation where, like I just said, I spent $200 for basically nothing, and people are worried about that. How do you avoid that sort of thing?
Yeah, well, it's all very fresh, and so we're all figuring out how to use these tools. But where I believe we're going to be in 6 to 12 months is that there will be the frontier models, but the majority of tasks at a company can be done relatively economically, and it won't just be by the best model that Anthropic or OpenAI or the frontier labs provide. There will be open source models, there will be local models, and it will be our role as a platform to help you optimize the cost and do this in a cost efficient way.
Hmm.
But when compared to doing it yourself, if you're a busy entrepreneur who's limited in time, or you're limited in the number of people you can hire because people are expensive, help from AI provides a lot of leverage, even at today's costs. And so we see plenty of workflows when done right with an AI agent that are providing tremendous leverage and are very cost effective relative to the other options.
And then you're also doing AI. You're also doing Workmate, which is basically just sort of like a scheduling system.
Yeah, so our first product is Workmate, which is an AI scheduler. And when we founded the company a little while ago, the vision is to build AI teammates that work alongside you like people would at the company. And where the technology was a couple of years ago, we decided to go really deep on scheduling because, the dream is to get for everybody to have an executive assistant, just like, the people who can afford them in big corporations today have. And what do those people do when you ask them?
Hmm.
Well, scheduling is their number one thing. And so we built an AI that's really good at scheduling as kind of the first teammate. And then this year with the advent with the models that came out towards the end of last year and the advent of OpenClaw and other similar things, the dream of like a whole team of AI for your team starting to become true more generally. And so we now have Workmate, which is a very scheduling specific product that people use and love who have the need to do a lot of the back and forth of scheduling. And then we have WorkClaw for everything else.
Hmm. Fascinating. So this is actually an interesting question. Nobody's really answered this per se. Like we're talking about these the models that get better and better every month at this point. How do you keep up with? Sometimes you're going to be in a situation where the robot won't do what you want, right? Something like you know what I mean. So this week it says it can create an image of, I don't know, of a basketball for you, and the next time it says no, we can't do that because it's copyrighted or something like that. How do you control for a situation where it's almost amorphous, right? The whole system is amorphous, and you don't know what it's going to not do. Next week it's going to say I can't connect to your Gmail anymore because Gmail is persona non grata or something like that.
Yeah, I mean that's the hardest part about building AI products today. I came up in the previous era of building technology and we were building deterministic systems. Now we're building non-deterministic systems. And I think that really started though with ML systems that before these generative AI systems. And, I spent a lot of time during my career working on the ranking algorithms that power Instagram and the recommendation algorithms that power Instagram. And those are highly personalized and don't provide a deterministic outcome. And so I think a lot of the methods that I learned in that world apply now. Like you measure a lot and you measure repeatedly and you hope that things are great the vast majority of the time. And you understand that things can be incorrect a percentage of the time. And with these systems, especially with LMs, you could do the same exact thing twice and you'll get a different
Hmm.
outcome.
Yeah,
Same
that's
thing with the human. And,
exactly.
and so you just have to account for that in the design of the product. You both have to build systems that are repeatable so that whenever you launch a new model or you want to add a new workflow, you have to test your existing workflows and on the evals to make sure that you're at least as good as you were before. And then you have to build products that fail gracefully, that have checks and balances built in, and also give the user a way to correct things if it's wrong, and then the product a way to remember that for next time so it doesn't get it wrong twice. And I think people have kind of become used to that way of working with technology now, or starting to become, and are definitely forgiving the first time. But then when you
Hmm.
say something and then it doesn't do it the second time, that's when
Yeah,
that's when your
that's
thing
that's
falls
actually that's
apart.
actually a
Yeah.
fascinating concept. I mean, the system might not give you the same answer next time, which is, I mean, it used to be stateful, right? Or stateless, so it would have given you the answer all the time, but now it's stateful, so it knows exactly what it did before. So if you ask it again, it'll give you something different. So what's your strategy for getting users? I signed up this morning, and it's super easy. But what are some of your best practices that you found for getting
Yeah, I
users to
mean,
try it out?
now that building is so easy, the
Hmm.
marketing and the distribution is the harder part. Building still requires craft. It's easy to build something, but hard to build something great. But the distribution matters a lot, and there's not one silver bullet there for us, but we have pretty good word of mouth online. We did an announcement yesterday that helps. We try to do announcements repeatably with different videos online, not you know have as many moments as you can. We do are running some ads online. There's a lot of interest in that, and we have been able to run ads at a reasonable cost for acquisition. And word of mouth is obviously great. With our scheduling product, there's this natural word of mouth where someone will CC the assistant, and then other people will find out about the product that way. And so we do things to tune the virality. And then we do have a sales team, and for our larger customers, doing the more traditional sales outreach is also effective for the right companies.
Have you noticed anything? I don't know, just like something odd that all of a sudden you found out that if you did X, Y, or Z, then you get a couple signups. Something unusual.
Yeah, I think one thing that's working pretty well for us is looking at the traffic that comes to our website. We do
Mhm.
have organic traffic that comes to our website, and we are able to use tools to like identify the companies and sometimes the people who are coming to the website, and then with other tools enrich and reach out to them. And so that's something that we found quite effective of like there's a whole other layer of being able to follow up with the like weak intent that you have on the website and convert that into actual users. Like you were nice enough to sign up, but there are many people who come to our website just to check it out and say they're going to try it later or maybe forget about it, maybe see a post on social or an ad on social. And so that the follow up and building your machine, often AI driven but trying to not be overtly AI to do that is something that is really important these days.
Yeah, I also noticed. I also you have like an extend trial, right? So I have a 14-day trial on my account. I'm just looking at it right now, and you can like extend the trial, which is actually pretty nice. Like I was using an app today for LinkedIn or something like that, and it asked it like for me to get anywhere past the first couple thingamajiggers was $69. So I had to pay $69 to do all these tricks, and it looks like you guys are a little bit more lenient with that sort of
Yeah, we
thing.
try to be lenient. We try to let people come in for free, and you'll see if you hit that extend trial button, it'll prompt you to schedule time with a human. And so the good old fashioned like talk to us, let us learn a little bit about your experience, and we're happy to extend your trial and try to convert you the old fashioned way.
Hmm. Very cool. All right, what's next for the company? What are you building out next?
For WorkClaw, the big thing is to try to make claws that work better out of the box. I think one of the things that you probably found with your OpenClaw and is a fair criticism of our current product is that it can do so many things, but it also is a blank canvas and many people don't know what to do with it.
Hmm.
And so, like right now, you can go in and create your whole team of claws. You can set those claws to work with specific people on your team, just you or the entire team. They have their computer. You can connect a bunch of apps, but it's still, we've taken all of the engineering work out of it. You don't have to feel like you're an engineer. You can use our product. You don't have to worry about keeping it up. We'll do that. You don't have to worry about buying a computer specific to each claw. We've taken care of that. But you still have to worry about making it work for you and setting it up. And that setup is a real bar for some people, especially people who don't know exactly what they want or maybe are a little bit later in the AI adoption curve. So in a couple of weeks, I imagine we'll have a product where you can come in and you can say, what AI team do you want? Do you want the executive assistant? Do you want the engineer? Do you want the designer? Do you want the marketer? Do you want the salesperson? Do you want the ops person? Do you want the invoice biller? And then you get some stuff that comes for free and it just works with some routine or or can coach you through, guide you through a little bit more of that setup.
Okay, very cool. All right. Yeah, and how's funding been going? Have you looked for funding, or what are you doing?
Yeah, we did raise some funding, a seed round. We haven't announced it yet, but that's coming soon.
Okay, cool. All right, very nice. Yeah, so the website is Workmate. Let's see, set it up here. I was literally just looking at it. Workmate.com. I just created Jordan Whitman, who's going to be helping me throughout
Through scheduling.
my scheduling, which is
And
cool.
on workclaw.com, you can create any teammate
Any
and
team
create
that I
that
want.
whole AI team for your team.
So I can make this little box like start working for me.
You don't need that actual box, but, we've got that box now in the cloud for you, and
I
you
even
can
3D
set it
I
up
even
quickly.
3D printed a case for it. So I feel like I need to. I dressed it up, so I feel like if I don't use it, it's a waste.
How what kind of box is it?
It's a
It's not a
Raspberry
Mac.
Pi. No, it's a Raspberry Pi.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's a whatever. It's like it when I was using it, it was like it was fast enough because it was just basically pinging the API, so it really didn't matter. I was able to do a few things. I connected it to Gmail and a couple other things, but then I noticed, like as I said, if I set up the wrong kind of I don't know cron job to like check my email for something that was important, it would just like churn through tokens just constantly,
Yeah.
and
Email's the hardest one, honestly, because, connecting your email to an OpenClaw isn't probably the most ideal way to do it
mhm.
directly like that because the cron job has to run every once in a while to pull whether there's a new email and, there are better ways of doing that now.
Okay. Well, I'll give Workmate a
Imagine
try.
waking up and checking your email every second versus waiting for the push notification.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, all right. Well, we'll see.
But you should give WorkClaw a try. We've got the Gmail connection right there. No device
mhm.
needed. No keeping it up. We'll help you manage the tokens.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds good. All right. Very cool. So workmate.com, workclaw.com, AI team for your team, all AI all the time. Well, thank you for this. This has been it's been hard to get us on the phone, but I think this has been a really cool interview.
Yeah, thank you so much, John.
All
Appreciate
right.
it.
All right. This has been The Innovators. I'm John Biggs. We'll see you next time.